fight. Check it out. We're doing it again. Like we did it the once, and then we did it the twice. Third time's the charm.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
It's going to be great. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've already heard myself, Matthew Moore, and you heard in the background Neale Jarrett. It's just the two of us today. Well, it's not the two of us. We have a third wheel, and it's the best wheel. It's a shiny wheel. It's Mr. Colm Sheridan. Give it up for Colm.
Good evening. Good evening, gentlemen. I am not like you. I thought I was a special case doing it twice, but you lads are going all three. You lads are legends.
It's because we've recorded a few. We're keeping some back for those lull times in between when things go wrong technically and we lose all audio when we need to release something to just let know people we're still alive, I suppose, in a way. Yeah. But apart from that, though, God, how are you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
How's life treating you?
Keeping busy. I've lost my job there about a year and a half ago, and now I'm back in college doing IT networking, and I've also ditched the consoles and become a PC person. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. PC person. I am a mouse and keyboard warrior now. Is that what they're called?
So multi-console man has gone beyond.
Well, in fairness, I still have a couple of DSs and 3DSs and Vitas lying around and an old PS3 I can't seem to get rid of because nobody wants it because the actual barcode is not on the back of it. So CEX, my favourite shop, won't take it. So there you go. So,
damn it. Yeah. So how are you finding the course then, mate? You're kind of retraining and stuff like that. Are you enjoying it? Is it odd?
It's odd because I'm probably the oldest person in the whole of the college, and
combined.
Yeah, by a fair few years, I'd imagine. But I'm actually enjoying it a bit more because my mind is a bit more. I'm less distracted now because I'm older, and I don't go out partying at the weekends and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's a good experience.
Good.
And yeah. So it's
never too late to teach an old dog new tricks.
And a very old dog it is indeed.
You see, this is the thing. They try and push courses and stuff on me at work, and even at my age, I just kind of think, I can't. I haven't got the attention span. It has to be something that you're really passionate about, I suppose.
Yeah.
But good to hear that you're doing all right, though, mate. So, have you been listening to this year? Have you listened to this year? We'll go back and look at previous years. Have you been listening along with our drunken rambles and rants?
Well, to be honest with you, I've taken a break from social media and podcasting, and I'm only actually getting back into listening to podcasts again, and realising that a fair few podcasts I did listen to have stopped as well. So I will be listening. I will get on board straight away now that you two sexy men are on it.
Such a compliment.
Thank you.
Such a compliment. No, the thing is I think you're right. I think there's quite a lot of people that have kind of fallen off podcasts. But then again, I think it's because during lockdowns and things like that, every single celebrity's done their own podcast, haven't they?
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of like flooded the market. So literally it doesn't feel niche anymore. I think a lot of people are just kind of like, everybody else is doing it.
When you come across
comedians are doing it,
like, because I've been doing it for about 7 years now, and you've been doing it a bit longer. We were doing it when it was an actual, a pastime, a hobby, and now everybody's made it into professional living. Like, follow me, I've got 6 million followers and downloads and all that. But it's just you just look at them and you go, "Where were you 10 years ago, mate?"
Yeah. Do you remember when you had to explain to somebody what a podcast was?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Now everybody's on the podcast bandwagon, as they say. So
that's the thing. It's because it's the advertising, though, isn't it? There's a lot of money kind of being pumped through because of the kind of replayability of it all. Can you imagine what adverts we'd have on A Year of Shame? But absolutely, if Benson Hedges was still a thing, that definitely be included. Surely,
some Benson and Hedges
Benson Scratches.
Trevor was alive, God rest him, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
They're legends.
Oh, we did a when we met up in Birmingham last weekend. We did a big kind of cheers and kind of a remembrance moment for him in the Dragon when everybody got there, kind of thing, and everybody raised the glasses. And it was really really nice, quite touching actually. But you know. What, Matt? What do we do in these shows now? Where do we go? I don't even.
Well,
go on, Matthew.
We haven't got a grief and death correspondent with us, so I guess we have to move on.
So I don't know how to handle this without Joe being here.
So, tell you what, let's have a quick recap then, Colm. You were one of the guys who did 2 years. You had 2 years, and you did yours consecutively.
Yes, I did. I did a Year of Shame 2 with Justin, Adam, and myself. And I just checked actually, I wasn't giving myself enough credit here, but I actually lasted up to the 6-month episode. Now, a lot of rumours are going around that I only lasted 3, but I have it officially downloaded them podcasts again and listened attentively to them and realised how young I sounded and unprofessional I sounded. And I actually lasted 6 months, so... Way to me, Adam also called me the King of Ireland, so there you go. And we were allowed, because this was the year after you lads did it, so this was, when it was still in its infancy and you had set the ground rules, and then some people like myself and the 2 lads came in and started changing the rules when you were probably going, you can't do that, lads. This is,
I see, that's the thing. I don't. But it's been quite a recent thing, Colin. If you do get the opportunity to catch up, it's been a bit of a recent debate about rules are meant to be broken. Yeah. You're setting your own rules for your own challenge, etc., etc. But yeah, I can remember it was way back at the very beginning. It was stringent. Yeah. Very, very, very.
And you know what?
There's no room.
It should have been kept that way, because if you allow yourself any little thing like, oh, I'm allowed to spend my credit, or I'm allowed to buy some DLC, you're just going back there. It should be strict. And I can't wait to listen to you lads this year, because I know how strict you're going to be and how you're going to make it work. And you're going to revitalise the Year of Shame podcast and make it that strict regime that it should have been all them years ago.
That's it. Someone make the baseball cap make Year of Shame great again.
Yeah. What do you feel about expansions pre-bought? No. So you lasted 6 months. What went wrong?
The nicest possible way.
What went wrong? I mean, for me,
was it one particular game that you just go, or did you just go, you know what? Actually,
no.
This wasn't the right time for me to do this. Or did you just go?
It was never the right time for me to do this. I've gone full circle now, where I had all of the consoles and all of the games, and then realised I had a nervous breakdown because I had too many consoles and too many games, and my mind was going, which one will I play next? Which game will I play next? So I just said, I'm getting rid of everything. But actually, the Year of Shame 2, what happened was, that's when the PS5 and the Xbox One came out, so there was a lot of temptation there to jump on that. Now, I don't think that was the reason why I failed at 6 months, but I do remember at some stage sending Justin a picture of a PS4 in my boot, going, I couldn't resist. So I think that was later on in the year. So yeah, anyway.
Was it the famous kind of Quentin Tarantino kind of shot from the boot looking upwards? Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Go like a gold kind of glow as he opens the case.
Yeah,
kind of, God, it's like you've kidnapped a PS4 from the Currys.
Something like that. Yeah. So are you? That was my first foray into podcasting, and that led me on to greater things with Last Save Loaded, and and I just remember how I got into the YoS was I actually listened to Matt and Darren on their podcast because I was trying to look for a non-American podcast. So, and somebody who spoke normal and, went screaming into the mic going, oh my God, this is great. So I came across you lads, and that's how I ended up going down the YoS challenge route.
It's a very similar route to how I started listening to MLG as well. You're just looking for something that was you could relate to.
And they weren't 12-year-olds, you know.
No.
Shouting abuse over Xbox Live.
Matt did look very young.
He still does.
Not that young, but yeah. But he did look very young. I was looking through photographs before I went down for the meetup and stuff.
Classic.
Oh, so you came back the very next year. You kind of reassessed yourself and go, right, you know what? Yeah, I'm ready. Come on, bring
I think it was more of a guilt. I had, I felt guilt, so I felt I had to really give it my all the next year. And so I was taking charge of this one, and Connor, Stuart, Matt, and myself. Amiibo Gate was a thing, and I think this particular year, people just got, oh, come on, Carl, get a grip on yourself, will you? Come on, you're taking this. For me, I actually had to, because Amiibos weren't allowed, I had bought an Amiibo, and I had to bake an Amiibo. And good old fair play to Stuart. Now, he bought me a new Amiibo and all that, of which I don't have any Amiibos anyway, so I gave them all back to CEX. But yeah, and after that challenge, year 3, I said, never again. I think I may have got about, between the 2 years, I'd say I got about 9 months out of it. So, there you go. And I haven't looked back since, really. And yeah, I know you two lads have done very well out of this, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is my second attempt. This is my second go at Year of Shame, and I did mine about 4 or 5 years ago. And I managed to do the full stint. But like I mentioned I think I mentioned in our very first podcast, Colm, that I seem to want to be involved in this when I'm when I'm moving house and I need to save as much money as possible. And it just seems to kind of like the universe makes it align that when I'm spending ridiculous amounts of money on all brand new bits because you're moving house, that I can't try and limit the amount of video games I buy at the same time. But yeah, so this is.
So are you
my
moving
second
house again then? All right.
Yeah. I'm moving in 2 weeks. I'm going to be moving house. So I was buying my first house when I did Year of Shame 4.
Yeah, I think it was 4. Yeah,
and then now I'm moving to another one. So yeah, it's one of those things. I think I just need that rules set around me, and it gives that framework to kind of try and behave myself and not do Friday night drunken purchases.
Good. Well, that's a good thing then.
Definitely.
So if the more you move, the better you'll be then, and maybe try moving every 5 or 6 years. You could join the.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, it's not like the littlest hobo or anything like that. I don't want to actually kind of go from town to town helping people with a stick and a napkin with that kind of like a real hobo, and then the littlest hobo. No, I want to avoid that if I can. But it's a nice little camaraderie as well that you get, isn't it? When you do something like this, you're not just on a podcast where you're just talking about daily life, weekly life, and whatever. You're actually sharing an experience, and it's fun.
I think it's nice.
It's fun to see these guys. It's fun to see these guys as well, nice. Like on a monthly basis.
I think it's nice that you invited me here as well, because I'm from potato land, as you say, and you lads are in Birmingham, or so I think it's and EGX was in Birmingham. It was lovely to go over there and have a laugh. And the MLGX parties were legendary. Oh,
you used to enjoy them a lot, didn't you?
Too much.
You'd let your hair down.
Yeah, what's left of it. I'd let my eyebrows down more than my hair, but there you go. Good fun, yes.
Let yourself down, let your eyebrows down.
I was looking through my drawer the other day, not that I do much of that nowadays, nothing else to do with myself, and I noticed one of the coins you used to give out, the tokens, and I noticed I had a dice and I had the land card as well from MLGX as well, so yeah, I keep all them things.
I think most people do. I think I've got beer mats. I've got mouse mats.
Beer mats.
Absolutely. Tons of stuff.
It's a lovely community as well. It's
fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah.
It really is. So, are you you've mentioned at the beginning that you kind of come off social media and stuff like that, and you kind of are you playing video games, Carl? I mean, you obviously you got onto a PC and stuff like that. What are you playing at the
I'm
moment?
playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is not the
Is not
the easiest game in the world, but I'm sticking at it, and I've been told to. That, I've watched several videos on YouTube about it, and they say just take your time, you'll get there. There's a lot of RPG and elements to go through, and it's not the easiest game to start with. But yeah, it's no Dark Souls. But I mean, me and Dark Souls don't get on. So yeah, so I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that at the moment, and yeah, that's the reason why my good lady got me a lovely Legion. Lenovo laptop there about 6 months ago. So yeah, it's got
nice.
Does that mean 60? Does that mean that I'm sure that's really good? I don't know what a graphics card is anymore.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you've now got a digital pile of shame more than a physical one that you used to? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you? I mean, so
you feel less guilty, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Well,
I was look at it.
You don't have to look at it. It doesn't just 10
and
rounds.
I've got my Steam Deck pre-ordered. Shh, I haven't told the wife yet.
Hang a minute, that sounds like someone who's going to start streaming again.
Oh, I don't know. I've tried streaming on the PC. It keeps lagging as hell, so I have to sort that out again and see can I do anything about that. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but so yeah, I'm still gaming, so I haven't given up gaming, so never will until my heart stops, as they say. Yourselves, lads?
I was just wondering, with 2 years and a complete change of physical to digital, like, are there any learnings that you've like any habits have changed over time? Do you ever check yourself now before you buy a game on the PC?
Well, I check myself all the time. You can't be too careful nowadays, especially at my age. You have to check yourself out. But anyway, apart from that...
Is that prostate or testicles? I mean,
both, really.
The way you look down at yourself.
I pay.
You do it at the same time, Colm.
I pay my doctor.
You're cupping them. Oh my crikey.
But anyway, enough of that now. Sorry for bringing the tone down, lads. But anyway, sorry, I forgot to say I do have a Switch as well. Sorry, I forgot about that. But no, I don't really have the money, lads, because I'm not working. So that's a bonus, I suppose.
Yeah.
I can't run out and buy the latest game, because I don't have the money. So that's a good thing, I suppose. Yeah, so it has to be.
It keeps you in check, definitely. The thing is, but the thing is, you live within your means, don't you?
Oh yeah.
And when you have an expensive hobby or a hobby that can be expensive, like playing video games, you live with what you've got, and pre-ordering a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing, Colm. This is where temptation's too great for you, isn't it?
I've been putting a few bob away for the last 9 months, because that's when I pre-ordered it in July 2021. And initially I was supposed to get it in Q1, but because it was delayed, it's gone to Q2 now. So hopefully May or June, sometime around that time. And we wait and see. I may have to sell my Switch at that stage.
Do you play your Switch a lot? Do you play because I think you do. You come across that you play a lot of like handheld kind of portable.
Yeah, I do. I'm at the moment I'm playing Dragon Quest 8 on the 3DS, and I also play a hell of too much of Skyrim on my Switch as well as on my PC. So I have 150 hours clocked just on the Switch in Skyrim, and
bleeding hell!
I love Skyrim. I could play Skyrim forever. Before Skyrim, Dungeon Siege 3 was my favourite game of all time. That was the joke. There used to be the joke, so to say. Yes. So yeah, that's me.
150 hours. That's
nothing.
I can't.
That's nothing.
Pardon? No, you're right. No, it's true. I mean, you look at you go through Steam and you see some of the hours that people play on certain games, like Dota 2 and stuff like that. People, kind of hundreds, thousands of hours, kind of thing. So it's nothing. But I think it's a good accomplishment for me, because I just think I don't know if I could. I've never got on with portable gaming. I just don't. I can't hold it for such a long period of time and play, and especially playing a serious game as well. I can casual games get it, platformers get it, but Skyrim, you've got because you'd be using the bumpers and the triggers and both thumbsticks at the same
Yeah,
time.
well, I have one of them metal, what you call it?
Zimmer frames.
Zimmer frames. Yeah, I have one of them. Yeah, it's in the attic at the moment. But no, I have one of them hooks that you can attach your Switch screen to, so it's and you can take out the Joy-Cons and play it when you're sitting on the couch. It's like an arm, but it's great because then I'm not looking down. I'm looking straight ahead of me, which the neck pain helps. Then you should take all this on board, lads. When you get to my age, this is all ahead of you, lads.
I'm making notes. Swear to God, I am making notes.
You've got the joints in the thumb there. I don't know whether you can see that. The joints in the thumb, they start to go first. Then your sanity, then your everything else, bells and everything.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's it.
But I'm like you. I could never stick to one game until Skyrim came along, and now I just love Skyrim. I just love the music, the atmosphere, what you can do with it. You can replay it over and over again as different characters, different. It's just there's just so much to it.
And is that 150 hours with the same character then, or do you, like you just said, are you going back in and doing a different build and things like that? Are you going from Sneaky Archer to
hours with the same character, but I do a lot of the side quests and I do a lot of other bits. So yeah,
you make your own quests in Skyrim, though, don't you? You do kind of even though you play out your own narratives and things like that, don't you?
So I mean, it's like a board game. Dungeons and Dragons type game as well. So you could. I just love it. I mean, I tried Breath of the Wild. I played that for 100 hours, and I was nowhere near finishing that game, and I just got distracted. And Skyrim came along, so there you go. So
are you still finding new things in Skyrim after that? I mean, it's been out 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah,
maybe not that 10. Actually, how long has it been out?
10 years.
10 years. It was 10 years. Last November.
Last year, weren't it, for the anniversary edition?
Skyrim and GTA are the only games that have come out with three console generations. They came out in the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, and now the Xbox Series S or X.
It's crackers.
It's mental. So
the fact that they're still making money out of it is ridiculous, and it makes you wonder when the next Elder Scrolls comes out in a year, 2 years time, whenever it's meant to come out. Like, what will that do? Do you mean, like, will that have the same? Can that live up to the hype of Skyrim? Will it be better?
Yeah.
Will it be? Well, it makes me scratch my head and wonder about it because, 10 years since I got back into console gaming, since I got back into gaming, Skyrim's practically been around, and it doesn't. I was playing it last year, doing quite a lot of modding on it on the PC and stuff like that, and it's you can still play it now visually. It competes.
Yeah.
With a bit of modding around and what have you, it's still got a lot. It can hold a lot of interest, definitely.
Definitely.
So, Colm. So, what was the big takeaways that you got out of You're Ashamed? Then, what was the big kind of not lessons learned, because that seems a little bit harsh, but what was the big things that you took out of it? What did you get out of taking part, apart from obviously chatting away and getting into podcasting and things like that? What did you get around from it?
I was really glad I did both of them. Though it looks like I failed miserably and I wasn't trying, but I was actually trying, and I did do my best to get as much as I could out of it. You know what I mean? To seriously try and do it. And to be honest with you, it would probably be a good time to do it again because I'm unemployed now. So. But so I got a lot of things. I got to realizing that you don't need every game that comes out. You don't need to fall into the pit of here's the latest Elden Ring is the latest craze at the moment, and then 2 weeks later it'll be something else, and that whole. There's a lot of that sensationalizing games and going, this is the best game ever, and it's really it's not, it's a game, a game. You could play the same game for the rest of your life if you really wanted to, like Skyrim or whatever. And I admire people that play one particular game and don't have a backlog. Don't have a game of backlog because, let's be honest, there's few and far between out there that don't have a gaming backlog, because it's so accessible to buy games now, and especially when they go on sale, that temptation's there. Oh, pick me up, it's only £2. But it's £2. You're not, if you go to the pub and you pay for a pint and you don't drink it, that's a waste of a pint, isn't it? If you go to PSN or Steam and you buy a game for $2.50 and you don't play it, it's a waste of $2.50 in that regard. You know. So,
yeah, but at least that game will be there to remind you. It will be lost, especially. So, have you fallen? I mean, recently got into PC gaming. Have you fallen to these Steam sales yet? Then, Carl, have you? They're juicy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are very juicy. I've bought 1 or 2 games. Fair play to Sandra for Valentine's Day. She got me €20 Steam credits. So, with that €20, I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance and another copy of The Witcher. Why wouldn't I?
So, going back to the question of did you learn anything? No.
No, I didn't, exactly. And Howard Welch Benno actually messaged me and said, I see you haven't changed your ways. You bought another copy of The Witcher. There you go. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed doing it, but, you know, I won't be doing it again. That's all I can say. That's really, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, you have to do it at the right time, and you have to be in the right frame of mind. And I think from what you've been saying, Colm, I think you've done your fair share. You've been a beacon of light for those that have got involved and went down that avenue that you went down. So no, I think you're best off.
I would like to think I was a measure of, well, at least I didn't do as badly as Colm did. You know, that level of
exactly.
How bad can you be? You can't be as bad as Colm. You know what I mean?
You see, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Somebody has to be. There has to be a ceiling limit, and there has to be a ground limit, doesn't there?
Yeah,
there has to be. You can
a
fly in between
level.
those bits.
Yeah, exactly.
You see, and the thing is, if somebody does a column, then they do a column. They're forever.
Perfect. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, forget about me too quickly. I do a collie. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That was brilliant.
It's all right.
I love that.
No, it's fine.
Thank you, lads.
I think I'm spent with questions. What else did we go over normally, Matthew? Have you got an idea?
Well, last time we were sort of asking, like, well, what are you up to these days? And I think it seems to be, other than you, Neale, who's still doing this, like, Digi was like, no, a lot these days. It was like, anything to pimp? Nah, not really. So I've got a feeling Colm ain't got that much to pimp, but we'll ask the question.
No, I'm just a shout out to Justin, who's still my friend, and, maybe someday we'll get back on the mic, who knows. And to you lads for such a great community. I mean, I've been to EGX, twice or 3 times now, thanks to you lads, and it's been.
Is that all? It feels like more.
Maybe 4, maybe 4 actually, maybe 4.
I think I've definitely seen you there at least 3 times. I think the last time I saw you there was outside the Dragon. No. The first time I ever saw you, I don't know if you remember this, Colm, you'll probably be a little bit embarrassed about this.
No.
I think the first time I ever met you, outside the Dragon, about 11:30 at night, so towards the end of normal service kind of thing. And it was the time that I was recording a podcast with Greg Giggins. And there's a lot of sexual innuendo on those podcasts between me and Greg, just because that's just how we are.
Yeah.
And you come up to me, you put your hand on my shoulder, and you went, "Are you actually gay, Neale?"
I can't believe you remember that.
Yeah, because I remember it, and I was like, "No, I'm not, mate." And he's like, "Well, you and Greg are really in love, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, we do. We do love each other." Yeah, but I do remember it, and it was like it's like when you meet people. It's the community where people pop up. Yeah. They're involved. They're on forums. They get mentioned on other podcasts and stuff like that. But it was one of the kind of really kind of. It stayed with me because it just made me smile because you were just such a heartfelt like. Are you all right, Neale? Nice to meet you. And are you gay? No, we're just really, really, really just making sexual jokes about each other.
The gas thing is, as I was saying it, I was going, "Oh my god, you could take this the wrong way."
No, not at all. Not
and I was so relieved when you just went with it. And just had a laugh. Yeah.
Me and Greg still now, but every now and again, me and Greg will catch up online. We'll play a video game. We'll play Gears of War or what have you.
Excellent.
And we still talk about noshing each other off and stuff like that. It's still, it's one of those things that we still do. It'll never leave us. I've only met him like face to face once, but just that sexual tension's still there. You've definitely been to a couple. You've been to definitely a couple because I'm.
Definitely.
So that was the first time.
Yeah.
And it won't be the last as well, Colm. We'll get you over, even if we have to. Even if we do a bloody a Patreon and get you over, get you shipped over or something like that. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Shipped over, not private jet.
Yeah. On a common ferry, on a cheap fleet. Yeah. To Holyhead, and then you have to make your own way from Holyhead. Yeah. Perfect. I've really enjoyed your company, Colin. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for agreeing to come and chat with us. So nice to see you. So nice to hear your voice, mate. Do look after yourself. Stay in touch. Stay on. I don't know. Obviously, take social media at your own pace.
Yeah.
I have to come off it quite regularly. Yeah. It's stifling at times.
Yeah.
But when you do come back on, come and find us. Come and find You a Shame in the group. Come and have a laugh with the rest of us.
I'll download.
We'll all talk about doing a column. Old column. But come and find us, mate. Whenever you're ready, come and find us.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate that, lads. Thanks
for
having me, lads.
Perfect. No, anytime, mate. Anytime.
I think
we're pretty much done then, aren't we, Matthew? Are you all right with are we wrapping up?
Yeah. Why don't we wrap up there? So thank you again to everybody for listening. To yourself, Colm. To yourself, Neale. Big shout out to the boys who aren't here. We're looking forward to catching up with them. There's plenty to talk about. Lots of new releases. Your gathering you had in Birmingham. Lots to catch up on. So we'll see you all for the next exciting episodes. Peace out.
Yo, bye.
Bye.